Yum 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 yum. Cooking club. Cooking club. Yum 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 yum.
Welcome back to the US Inbetweeners Part 4, everyone. I hope you're proud of yourselves. Yes, that is right. Welcome back to the fourth installation of... It's not installation, it's installment. I'm not going to be installing anything for you. Welcome to the fourth installment of the Shit Betweeners, as it should be known. Yes, I sat down the other day, I braced myself for pain, and I watched episode 4, the things I do for this channel. Let's start off with the usual question. Was this episode as painful as the others?
Reknob his boner backwards. I'd literally reknob her so hard that my penis would be pushed back into my body.
Or was the episode good and it turned the corner and I'm now a fan of the US Inbetween? No, it was bad, unsurprisingly. Right from the get-go, this episode was very confusing. It starts off with a Rocky type montage of Will going for a run and then getting ready in the morning.
Some people are satisfied with average. Some people don't push themselves to greatness one sweaty step at a time. Those people are stupid. But I aim higher.
Look at yourself, don't look in the mirror, just face the light.
I push.
Feel like it's something I did wrong, won't you speak your mind?
I join activities.
Yes, I'm as confused as you. Now, there are two different plot lines in this episode, and it's probably useful to talk about them separately because there is a lot I want to talk about. The first of these plot lines is to do with Will and Simon. Essentially, Will gets a random epiphany that he wants to join a club for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why he decided to just join a club. I think on his morning run, he must have randomly just thought how cool he'd be if he joined one, but anyway, he goes into Mr. Gilbert's office to ask about how to join one, and Mr. Gilbert acts just as weird as he did in the first episode. This leads me to my first point of discussion, the character of Mr. Gilbert. I want to say firstly that I have nothing against the actor himself. Brett Gelman in Stranger Things, his character was one of my favourite characters, so it's clearly not him. He's not the problem. However, the character of Mr. Gilbert is awful. There is only so much that the actor could have done while playing this character because it was written so awfully. At times he comes out with kind of mildly funny lines, but they clearly did not know what direction to take Mr. Gilbert in. He has about 47 different personality traits. It's very confusing. In the UK version, Mr. Gilbert was strict, sarcastic and arrogant, which made him one of the best characters.
The Duke of Edinburgh representative for the entire year?
Yes.
I am honoured, sir. Thanks very much. Why me?
You're a virgin, aren't you, Mackenzie?
Sorry?
A virgin. You haven't had full sexual intercourse.
No, I haven't.
Well, there's your answer. Now get out.
Mr. Gilbert in the US version, though, is confusing because it's almost like the show didn't know whether to try and make him a direct copy of the UK Mr. Gilbert or try and make him completely original, so they just went for a bit of both. They tried to carry over the arrogant and sarcastic traits, but at the same time they also made the character like really weird.
Masturbating?
He's not one of the worst characters in the show, but he lacks the spark that the UK Mr. Gilbert had. So again, it's another classic character that has been destroyed by the US version. After this, a girl walks into the room and Will turns into a massive simp, and the girl introduces herself as Charlotte. It becomes clear that this character is a rip-off of Charlotte Hinchcliffe in the UK version. The only difference is she's called Charlotte Allen, but yeah. Overall, they didn't butcher this character as badly as some of the others. I don't want to just blindly complain about this character because she wasn't too different from Charlotte in the UK version, so it'd be stupid to just call it out. I do have a problem though with Donovan, who also appears in this episode. He kind of just stalks Will and stands at a distance and stares at him, or sits in assembly and holds a piece of paper up to threaten him, and that's really it. In the UK version, Donovan was such a relatable school bully that you actively disliked him while watching.
No, we just wanted a word. Prick. There's a word.
He was just a very realistic character. If you went to a UK school, you probably knew someone like Donovan. In the US version though, he's very forgettable. He hardly speaks. I don't actually remember him speaking the whole episode. And at the end, all he does is shoots Will in the face with a water pistol or water gun. Will and Simon end up having to give a speech or something about cooking club in assembly. I just want to note the reason Simon is part of this cooking club thing is because he wants to impress Carly, and doing cooking club will impress Carly apparently. It seems Simon is simping over Carly in literally every episode at this point. It's kind of boring, but we move. Then the weirdest moment of the episode, and probably the whole series so far, takes place.
Cooking club. Cooking club. Cooking club. All right. Cooking club. Cooking club. Yum 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 yum. Cooking club. Cooking club. Yum 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 yum. Say yum 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 yum.
This show getting 2 stars out of 10 is generous at this point. I don't even care. Anyway, after that shambles of a plotline, we move to the subplot, which, if you thought the main plotline was bad, you're in for another thing. Essentially, this plotline revolves around Jay, and in case you're wondering, no, Jay has not become any less insufferable this episode.
Did you guys see that?
Grow up, you Mel. Anyway, this plotline starts with all the groups sitting there and talking about how they've had wet dreams. Yes, that randomly came up in conversation for some reason. I don't really understand. Jay then reveals that he's never had a wet dream, and so for the rest of the episode, he sets out on a mission to have a wet dream. I'm not even kidding.
Maybe you guys are onto something.
We definitely are.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
You gonna join cooking club?
What? No. I'm cutting off all sexual activity until I have a wet dream.
You're on.
It's not a bet, it's a promise.
This is hands down the strangest plotline going. At one point, Jay was just walking down the corridor, and then he suddenly just went,
Ah! Can't do this anymore! Sitting around waiting for an orgasm.
There's also a shot of him in bed getting really pissed because he didn't have a wet dream. It's hands down the most pointless and embarrassing plotline so far, and I actively cringed watching it. I'd probably say it's the most embarrassing plotline of like the whole show, and that is saying something. Anyway, that's pretty much the episode. Again, I wouldn't say it's the worst one yet, but probably the most weird. Like, some of the shit that happened in this episode just makes me question life.
Yum 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 yum.
Cooking club. Cooking club.
I tried to make this episode a little bit longer because some people were saying my videos were too short, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's over 10 minutes, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video because I certainly did not enjoy watching this episode. Let's just say 1,000 likes for part 5. You usually hit that, so do it again. I've kind of just accepted I'm probably going to end up watching every episode at this point, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel, and peace.